we're gonna be way more grateful when we do all these things, because sometimes we take it for granted, and today that we don't have those things is when we really miss those things. It's like the saying that you don't really know what you have until you don't have it, right? And I feel like we're gonna be way more grateful after these tough times go by.
All right, so our next guest is NASCAR Cup Series driver Daniel Suárez, and I read that you were on a cross-country trip when everything hit. What happened from there?
Yeah, so my girlfriend Julie and I, we really like road trips, but you can imagine with all the racing schedule, it's pretty much impossible to do something as a road trip, because we're always going everywhere. We're always every weekend we're going somewhere, so it's always very difficult. And when we have a little bit of time, we want to spend with family and stuff. So we were in the race in Atlanta. Kind of like everything fell in place, because we were in the race in Atlanta, and we were ready to go practice, and then everything got postponed first, and then got canceled like in minutes. And we were already there. And I was in the middle of a negotiation to buy a car in California, and a friend of mine was gonna go pick it up. So when all that happened, the whole coronavirus situation wasn't, it was kind of like growing, but it wasn't as big as it is already right now. So when all this happened, obviously I said to Julie, hey, what about if we just go pick up this car? And I thought she was gonna say no, but she said no. Actually, yeah, that'd be great. And but my condition would be we can go to some cool places in the middle of the way. I said okay, let's do it. So, we drove back to Charlotte. We packed my truck. I got a trailer from one of my friends, and the next day we just left. It was pretty quick. How everything kind of like came together, but it was very good, very very good, because the most important part for me was to get to know this country the way that it is, because a lot of people I don't think really know so many amazing places that this country has. Horseshoe Bend, a lot of different places that the Grand Canyon. A lot of places that are unreal, and like you see pictures and you don't really see the whole, the big picture of things until you see it in person. So I was super grateful. I got to do all this road trip before things got actually very bad. Actually, kind of like in the middle of the trip, things were a little bit getting bad. That's why we decided to cut it short and come back. But it was definitely a good opportunity to do something like that.
So what hobbies are you using right now to pass the time? You seem like one of the more busy people that I have seen as we go through this thing.
Yeah, I feel like I've been a little bit lucky, to be honest, because we had that road trip, so just right there we killed 1 week, and then we came back to the house. And I love working on old cars, so I've been messing a lot in the garage with old cars, fixing a couple things here and there, and just like that, man. Just working a couple things in the house. I'm half-time driver, half-time handyman, so I like to do things, and I find that fun. Cleaning stuff and just organizing a lot of stuff in the house. But to be honest, I can't wait to go back to normal life, because I'm running out of ideas. I feel like my next thing to do is to break something so I can fix it. So I don't want to get.
So what's the biggest difference then between the way that regular cars are put together and the way that race cars are put together? Because I know that you know a thing or two about both.
Yeah, for sure. Race cars, it's everything about going fast, going light. Sometimes it doesn't matter how beautiful it is, but if it goes fast, it's better. Performance. And, street cars, show cars, is everything about the look. And, you need some performance too, but it's everything about how it looks. I have some old cars that they have almost no power, but they have big brakes and stuff, because they look very, very nice. So, it's different, but I really love both. I grew up, working with cars with my father in the shop down in Mexico. I really enjoy that a lot. I feel like that's obviously my hobby number one. But I also I love to spend time with family, with Julia, with friends, and that's something that right now is not possible, man. And I was talking with Julia the other day about, from every bad situation, there is always something good, right? And even though that this bad situation is very hard to find that good side, I feel like we're going to learn how grateful we are to go out to visit our parents, to visit our grandparents, friends, to go out to restaurants, to go out shopping to a mall, or you name it. You know, we're going to be way more grateful when we do all these things, because sometimes we take it for granted. And today that we don't have those things is when we really miss those things. It's like the saying that you don't really know what you have until you don't have it, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like we're going to be way more grateful after these tough times go by.
I love that. I'm all about the spin zone positive. So you got me on the train with that one. I've been watching this iRacing stuff now, and I'm curious. Was it you that caused that last crash, or was that your dog Emma?
Well, that was the first race. Yeah. It was me. I blame her because she can get a black flag, but that was me. It's a very difficult position to be, because all this thing about iRacing started as a game, and drivers were told that this was a game just to have fun. And then TV got involved, and then sponsors got involved, and then teams got involved. NASCAR really was involved.
Right.
It started to become something that is not a game anymore. I mean, you're seeing drivers now getting in trouble. I mean, real trouble, not just virtual trouble. I mean, we have to be careful, because this now is like the real racing. You know, we're professionals, and yeah, we're doing it in a video game through a screen, but we have to be careful. And the first couple of races, they were not like that. So now, you know, we have to practice. Actually, I was seeing this as a game just to have fun, and who cares? Now it's not like that anymore. And obviously, you know, it's going to be very difficult to beat the guy that they've been doing this iRacing thing for 15 years. I've been doing this for 2 weeks, but it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, but this is one of those things that you have to be careful, because you can get in trouble very easy, as you can see.
Are you noticing that it's a more aggressive racing style, given that safety is really not a concern when you're sitting in your living room on a video game rig?
Listen, this is what happening. Is way more aggressive. You have, you know, you can get hurt. You can't. You have one reset or two. And the other thing is that I think this is a very, very important one. Last race, I got wrecked by someone.
Yep.
And I wanted to wreck that person back. I was so mad, because actually I was doing okay. I was doing good. And the other thing is that you don't have those after problems. You know, if you wreck me in the real life, I'm going to go look for you, and I'm going to talk to you. And if I don't like your answer, we might fight, right? Mm-hmm. That's the way that we fix things. In iRacing, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. The other driver maybe is 1 hour away from you. So it's nothing you can do. So that's why there is less thought about you know, wrecking someone, about, who cares? But at the end of the day, you know, there is sponsors, there is TV, there is millions of people watching. So we have to be careful, and we have to be professionals.
And Dano, do you see a world where this becomes a mainstay, a staple on a NASCAR circuit in the near future? Or what do you think the future, when we hopefully return to some sense of normalcy, what happens to iRacing?
I think iRacing has been around for a long time. And iRacing is very good for young kids that they want to get into simulators, and they want to learn, you know, the closest you can get without actually getting a real race car. And it's a lot of fun, you know. You can play a lot, you can learn a lot, but I don't think we're gonna ever, you know, put that on top of real racing, you know, because real racing is real racing. You know, you don't have interaction with the fans, you don't have contact with the fans. I think it's amazing, because fans are watching, and we are one of the probably only sports that can do stuff like this, because you know, the way that the sport works, you can put a lot of cars there, and we can put a good show for the people. We can entertain people, but I feel like, you know, it's a good way to get more people started, and eventually they become race car drivers. And I feel like, you know, this is definitely helping a lot, you know, young fans and young drivers that want to keep growing, and also there is some drivers that's what they do. You know, they do iRacing in the regular basis. So now they're going to get probably some support somehow, if they get some publicity, just trying to push them a little bit. But I think something that is very important is the interaction with the fans. And actually last night, Jude and I, we did something very cool. We play Mario Kart once in a while, and we made a room to play, and I put it on my social media. So I had fans join me, and I was playing with fans, and we're texting back and forward through the room and stuff like that, and they love it. And we're gonna do it again tonight. So, I feel like that's a great way to interact with fans. It's just for fun. Everyone you can throw chills, you can throw bananas, it's just for fun. But you can interact with fans. And iRacing is a little bit more professional. You cannot interact with fans. They're just watching, but obviously it's not like real racing.
Yeah, and I'm a big gaming guy. I don't know about you, Daniel, but like guys like Ninja, Courage, big esports celebrities. If I put one of those guys next to you in an iRacing rig and you as a professional NASCAR driver, how's that going to go?
Oh, they're going to beat my butt big time. Because
yeah, okay.
That's what they do. You have to remember, we are race car drivers. We are not iRacing, or, esports gamers. And that has their own trick. But I would tell you something. 7 years ago, there was nobody that could beat me in Gran Turismo in PlayStation. Like, I was there every day, every night. In the weekends when I wasn't racing, I was in PlayStation with my little simulator, and I was super good because I was doing it all the time. It's everything about practice, right? But obviously, life changed. I start to grow up. I get more responsibilities with racing, family, and all these things. But it's a lot of fun. I love gaming, and I do believe that games technology helps young kids, drivers, or young talents to develop what they want to do and get it better. I do believe that iRacing, Gran Turismo, all these real video games, they help you to get a better feeling. And then eventually when you go to real racing, you say, okay, actually this is similar to the game. Not everything, but at least half of it.
So, I mean, if the next generation, it sounds like there's at least a possibility in your brain that the next generation of drivers could come from technology of some sort, be it iRacing, video games, whatever it is. Yeah. I mean, are they going to be twice as aggressive once they get to the real NASCAR track? I mean, how does that translate?
I started racing late. I started racing when I was 11, but I have friends that they have had, they have gotten into racing when they're 5, 6 years old. I do believe that, newer generations, instead of starting in real racing that young, they can easily get a simulator or start doing simulation. And then by the time they're 13, 14 years old, they jump into a real car. And they're going to be probably not as prepared as the guys that they start racing when they're 7 years old. But they didn't spend probably 5% of the money that they were kids. So, it's different ways to do it. Like if I'm a father right now and I don't have much money, and I can put my kid in racing, I will buy him a simulator. And probably once he's 13, 14 years old, I'm able to find some sponsor, and then I put him straight into a bigger car. But it's a good way to get some practice without being super expensive.
Yeah, and in a different kind of technical or technology racing, I should say. So you're playing a little Mario Kart too, and you picked Yoshi. I'm curious, what makes you a Yoshi guy?
I don't know. I think that guy is funny. But most important, he's fast, man. Yoshi is fast. If you play Mario Kart, you have to try Yoshi out. Actually, my girlfriend Julia, she used to play with Tanuki, and I was beating her the entire time, and she swapped to Yoshi. So
it's awesome.
So I got her into Yoshi, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I see Mario Kart, like I said, something more to interact with fans, to have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing fans posting pictures. Hey, I'm here racing with Suárez. Hey, I just beat Suárez. Hey, we had a great race. That's amazing, man. Because right now in these difficult times, we don't really have much to do. So if we can interact a little bit, it's amazing. And something impressive is that, unfortunately, there is only 12 spots to race in Mario Kart in a room online. I post that on Instagram, and in 4 minutes, that room was full. So, and more people wanted to join, but it was full. And it's very, very cool to see people actually wanted to interact and stuff like that.
So racing to me seems, at least in part, to be just physical and mental. You sort of a split between the two. How are you keeping, we've touched on the mental side, how are you keeping in shape physically though?
You know, it's not easy because I personally, I love to be in good shape. I love to feel good, to look good, and to be strong in the race car. Obviously, we're going very high temperatures, and it's very important to be in good shape. But you know, there is just so much you can do in the house. So normally, I like to go out to run, to go out in the bicycle, to go out to a gym. But in the house, you know, there is just a handful of things that you can do. I'm lucky that I have a rower and I have a skier and I have a couple other things that I work out and I do my own things. And that's what I'm doing right now, just to keep up with myself. I don't feel like that is gonna make me better or what I want to be, but at least I'm you know, kind of like staying in my level. So when we go back to normal life, I can go back and work hard how the way I like it. But for now, just trying to work out here in the home with the skier, with the rower, and going once in a while to get for a run or for a walk. The other day, we walked for like 4 hours, man. It was crazy. We walked for, how many miles it was? It was like 9 miles. It was crazy. It was way too much. I was sore. But yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but those walks for me are much more mental than they are physical.
Oh, man, let me tell you, I was tired the next day. My butt was hurt.
Yeah. I will get you to our lockdown lightning round right now. We've asked this to a handful of drivers. Curious to your take too. So if you're in a high-speed chase and you can have any car in the world, you can be driving any car in the world except for your race car, what car would you want to be in?
Probably a suit-up Toyota Supra.
A Toyota Supra. So what is a Supra?
Well, the Supra is very fast, man. I don't know if you have watched the Fast and Furious, you know, movies.
Oh yeah.
Supra has a lot of potential to be a super fast car because, you know, everything is about the size of the turbo that you put on that thing, and that thing is very light. It can go very, very fast. Obviously, you know, if you compare a Supra with an exotic car, you know, you can't do anything. But in a regular car, like if you tell me what is a regular car that you can make go very, very fast, it will for sure a Supra.
Interesting. Okay, so if you could have anybody through the history of time, past or present, join your quarantine crew there in Charlotte, who would that be and why?
Oh, man, that's a very good question. I would say that would be probably Dale Earnhardt. It would be good to hear some stories. You know, that guy was very sharp, very aggressive, very crazy. It would be cool to have him here in quarantine playing Mario Kart with us.
That's a great answer. That right there is the best answer that we've gotten to that question yet. Okay, our final one. The one thing that you miss most about going 240 miles per hour, or whatever the hell it is that you go in your car?
His adrenaline. You know, the adrenaline is something that you can buy and you can get anywhere else. I have had this question very, very often in the past. Like fans ask me, hey, Daniel, when you go into a race on Monday, do you feel like you want to go fast? Do you feel like you get into a highway and you want to go 100 miles per hour? And the reality is no. And the reason of that is not because I want to be polite or because I want to be right. The reason of that is because when we're running at 210 miles per hour, the adrenaline is here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we go in the street speeding at 80, 85 miles per hour, the adrenaline is here. It's here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even close. So it's not really a reason why you're going to try to pump it up when you will never get here. So, you know, the adrenaline is for sure that's something that I'm missing so bad.
iRacing give you any adrenaline or no? I assume not.
When I get mad, it does. When somebody tries to wreck me and I try to wreck them back, it does for a few minutes.
You know, that sounds a bit like my Xbox career, so I can relate to that. Daniel, we really appreciate the time. We'll see you soon, and please stay safe.
Thank you, man. You too, man. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Take care.